Welcome to the podcast, Wealth Ninja show. And Sean, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Grant, thanks for bringing Sean in. So, what you guys been up to?
Sean's got a deal on at the moment. He's been with me in the program for 3 months.
Okay.
And we've purchased it, renovated, and it's just going to auction next week.
And this is an apartment property?
Yes, an apartment in the Zest building.
Okay. And Sean, we know each other now for quite some time, going way back, 10 years ago. You would have even longer. What's your journey been since, and what you do now?
Oh, that's a big question. I took an unforced sabbatical from property investing for about 12, 13 years.
Right.
Made a couple of poor choices with business decisions.
Yes.
But we're back in the game now.
Okay. And what made you come back instead of just going and do your own things? And why is it that you come back to the Wealth Ninja team and Grant there for advice through property purchase?
I've always known from when we first started in the early 2000s that it's vital to have a good team around you.
Yeah.
And that team has to be very knowledgeable in what you're about to do, and they pretty much eliminate any mistake. So that's the reason why we're back in property investing and with Grant.
And would you see that as you say you made some poor choice in business? Would you say through the property venture or property through Grant's advice that will help you to recover some of that money?
It will. I'm not looking to recover it,
right.
But I have no doubts that the future will recover some of our losses. But that's not the reason we're back. We're back in it because we love doing property.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And what does that involve, Grant? What do you do for Sean?
So Sean comes to group each Tuesday, 10 till 3, and we look at apartments. We run all the numbers on the apartments. Sean watches all the media, the trade meets, and speak to real estate agents and find the deals. And then we negotiate and buy and do a quick renovation.
Okay, so we obviously got a combination of investment. We got house in land package, we got land, we got apartment off the plan, we got apartments in Queenstown, Wellington, Australia, and you specialise in the central CBD, right?
Yes, that's right. Yep, in the very central city, a growing dynamic market that it is in the central city, and even in Sean's situation, he's looking to downsize at some stage and move into the central city. So.
Yeah.
That's a great move for him in the future.
And Sean, you bought this property, and you guys mentioned earlier you renovated it in 10 days.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. It's not a big floor area to renovate. So
that's amazing.
It's pretty straightforward, and with the guys we use, they do it all the time. So they know the buildings inside out. They know how to get things up and down the lift, which probably other trades don't.
Yes.
And they're just set up to do that each and every day. So they're very efficient with their time.
What would you, obviously you've been in property now for quite some time. What would the best years be for you? Like how many property were you bought and sold, or trade or hold? Or
the best years were in 2002 to 2005 for us personally. Yeah, we had our own home and I think 3 rental properties at the time, and 2 had 2 home and incomes.
Yeah,
we built a minor dwelling on one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were doing very well back in the 2000s.
Yeah. And if you buy and sell properties, do you trade them then, or you keep all of them?
I did trade one back then, which wasn't part of what I just spoke about, but they were holds, and we did trade one. That was just a quick go in. I probably spent a couple of days just tidying up the gardens really on that one, and sold that for I think quite a nice profit for the amount of time I put into it.
Right. And
just sold that to a young couple back in about 2005, I think it was.
Okay. And what's most of the students doing now? They hold property or they trade it?
Yeah, the cash flows come back into the central city in a massive way. So the majority of clients are buy and holding now for positive cash flow.
Okay. And what's the criteria for landing on apartments, Nate? The studio under 40 square metre, banks don't land on them?
It's one of those situations where you need a very good broker in place, and you ask the question, because the banks have their advertised policy, lending policies, but quite often we find when we ask the question, it's quite different.
Right.
And in a positive way.
So it's like case to case basis.
Absolutely,
Depends.
dead right. Yes.
Okay, and what's the right now? Like obviously, there's quite a bit of demand for properties in the central CBD. What sort of meterage and price wise that's the hot property?
We're sort of working on $10,000 per square metre.
Okay.
So that's internal and excluding car parks.
Right. So that's what we sell now in South Auckland, Manukau, Mangui. We are selling the new ones for around 10,000, even 11,000 square metres. So if you can find a property in the CBD for around that, that's pretty good buying.
Yes, you're doing well.
Because the new one is at 15, even up to 20,000,
Correct, yes.
isn't it?
Yep.
So then, how many property are you hoping to do in a year, Sean?
In the first 12 months, we hope to do 3.
Yeah, right.
And then we'll just, when we move into the city, which is probably 18 months' time, we hope to just make the most of our time while we're in the city. And I think we can, we're hoping to probably do 6 to 8 to 10 a year from there.
Well, most people don't even do that in a lifetime. So when you say you do 3 in a year, that's still a lot for the audience. Some of them don't do any. And when you say doing 10, it's like overwhelming numbers. But for you or for me, for Grant, it's very normal. But just for the audience listening, they probably saying, how do you do it? And how do your mindset to say, I want to do 10 properties a year? How was that for you in the beginning? Did you ever think you do 10 properties in a year?
Yeah, it's all progressive, isn't it? As I say, you start off with your 3. You make sure you know, obviously you're making a good enough profit out of those 3.
Yeah.
You recycle that. This is our strategy anyway. We'll put all that back into the next deal, so we're not having to lean on the bank so much.
Yeah.
And then you can get more leverage, obviously, out of your equity, and then therefore our strategy is to keep doing that, recycling all of that, and that will hopefully lead on to more and more trades as we go forward.
Well, I think it's a great thing that when you do that. I saw an article in the Herald the other day talking about people flipping properties, but you know, when you flip a property, you make a profit, you pay tax, but look at the employment you're creating. You know, the painter, the carpet layer, electricians. But you're not just creating employment for them, you create employment for the lawyer, the accountant. And then what about the solicitors? You know, they get conveyancing fee and then the council rate that comes in. I think that we owe it to the property people to renovate properties to create better rental accommodation for the tenant or for the next person to come where for example, a joint income earner might be too busy to renovate that property, and you guys are being it right to standard.
In our situation in the central city, I see it time and time again. Our average renovation is $10,000 for 10 days.
That's
Someone
amazing.
else who hasn't got that knowledge and experience, it's $30,000 and 3 months.
Well, I don't have that knowledge to the renovation apartment because you mentioned about the lift, you know.
Yeah.
How do you use the lift when there's only one lift or sometimes 2 lifts in the building and it's so small?
Yes. So we shortcut the process. We have a team that as Sean said, this is their full-time employment, and they're so busy, they're looking hard to find new people all the time to work with them, new staff. That's how busy they're growing and growing.
And going through your mentoring now for over 15 years, that's unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah.
And what would your star performer be like on property-wise or apartment or transaction-wise?
Well, yeah, unfortunately a number of them were in the newspaper a few weeks ago.
Really?
Or fortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had a huge amount. I've made so many millionaires, it's just ridiculous. Just out of investing in apartments, and that's all I do is full-time as apartments. It's amazing opening up a new market to people that never even contemplated the central city even existed, and just open their eyes to what's available out there and how much of an amazing changing dynamic city we have in Auckland.
What's the next big thing for next year?
More of the same, really. Yeah, nice market. Interest rates stay low would be great. Rents will continue to build in the central city because we're not building any more stock. All the developers are basically finished. What is coming online is high-end $1 million properties, so that's not going to impact the market at all. So rents are going to increase, interest rates hold or go down further, and America's Cup is going to start building up. Who knows what's going to happen with the Rugby World Cup and all the infrastructure in the central city. I just heard this morning coming in. 2021, I think it is. New Zealand has been put on the list for the World Rally Champs. So
well, you mentioned the Rugby World Cup. We got some of our players that we mentor over there, and we watch them play on TV, and I don't know what it is. Is it that because all of a sudden they know that life after sport now, they got it set, and I can see their, I could be wrong, but I see their body language, they work out, they look muscular, they were proud to win because they know their future's been looked after. Or maybe when they look at the opposition, their shoulders are slouching, ready to lose because they don't know where their future is. And that I noticed that a change in a lot of our sports players that we mentor. Yes. They have a great outcome now. Some of them within 6 months. We take them from $600,000 poverty's portfolio now to $4 million that they never thought that in a lifetime they can achieve that, but we did it in 6 months. And it's quite amazing. Once we got that trust, they just say, I just can't believe one of them actually said to me was, you are my life. You tell me what to do and I do it. I don't have any say in financials. And I never ever abuse my position. I call it abuse of power. When you're in a position of power, you take advantage of people. They trust you. That I will never do. And this is why Wealth Ninja here is to reach out to more and more of these people that we can assist. And through you guys with your experience, Sean with your experience, you can help the new people that get into this investment model. And because you are the talking examples of it, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So look, I'm looking forward to see you guys on the 10th of November. That's our biggest Wealth Ninja launch, and some of the audience can come, shake your hand, talk to you, and you become one of the heroes. So thank you for coming to the show.
Thanks for calling me a hero.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are the hero.